Hey, welcome back to the channel, Getting It Done. We're gonna get it done today. Yes, sir. Yes, we are. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. I did a bunch of videos. There's a lot of videos that I've done about the Garmin and the Deeper Pro. And I got a lot of people asking me, can you show me the setup of a Garmin? And so I'm gonna go through it. Here's a Garmin. You know, the Deeper Pro is pretty much similar, but the Garmin seem to be the more questions on how we set it up, or how do we do it. So I'm going to go through it. So, you know, we're going to get it done. I'll show it. I'll walk you through. So first things first. So I'm going to put this off to the side, and then we're going to hook it up. You know, there's a battery that comes with a power. Make sure it's juiced up. Make sure it's powered up, and let's go. Okay, let's go. First, that's step one. Yes, sir, getting it done. All right, so I got the phone. Go into your app store. Okay, we're going to search up Garmin Striker Cast, and this is what's going to show up. And there's your apps. So the second one is what you want. So we're going to open it up, download the Striker Cast, and we'll go through it. Okay, so I already downloaded it. Where is it at? Open it up, Striker Cast, and now we're here. Now we're going to set it up. So, all right, I agree. I have, yeah. So we continue. It's going to ask you for some information, log on information. So I'm going to log on. I'll be right back. All right, so it's going to ask you, it's going to go through a bunch of series. Do you want notifications? Do you want to use the Bluetooth? Yes, you have to use Bluetooth. If you don't use Bluetooth, you're not going to connect. You want notifications, to send to notifications? I say no. Connecting to Striker. Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to get this thing. Get them both connected. No Striker. Connect to your Striker Cast. Going to connect. Connect it. Make sure the Striker is turned on and ready to connect. So this should be on. Just tap it a few times and start searching for device. And we might have to put it in the water. That's one thing you might have to do. Cannot find device, search again. All right, so we'll put it in the water. We're gonna try this. We'll just toss it in the water. A lot of times you gotta be in the water to get this thing to go, so let's go. All right, it's there. It's in the water, it's bobbing. Let me see if we can connect to it. Search again, let's go. All right, so we found it. So now it comes back, it tells you, you got the Striker Cast serial number. It tells you your Bluetooth strength. That's important. Again, I know a lot of people saying, hey, you know, the thing doesn't work. You got to make sure that you have the strength on the Bluetooth and you have connectivity on your phone. If you don't have those, forget about it, son. You're not going to be able to get it done. So put it away and just go fish normally. But if you have great service and your Bluetooth is on, you're good to go. So here's my thing. Connect it. Yes. All right, it's connecting, cycling through. It's my serial numbers. Okay, done, right? So now I come up. Now the first thing I have is I have this thing. It tells me I'm at on my top left at 3 feet. Temperature is 78.7, and now it's giving you the contour of the pond, right? So there's adjustments. You got the Sonar, right? So that's where I'm on. You have a map. You could actually map it. I'm not going to map it. I don't even know what's in Miami. I have no idea why it's in Miami, but we're going to get out of that. All right, so now I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to go into my units. It goes depth, feet, temperature, Fahrenheit, distance, miles, positions. So you can go into that. Data usage, again, what Wi-Fi only, Wi-Fi or cellular. All right, so I'm going to keep screen on. And simulator mode, you don't want that on. Simulator mode is, that will go on to this factory settings, and it will only show you what is on. What it is. So we're gonna go that, keep screen on, right? Striker Cast, there's a battery, the Bluetooth signal, again, Striker Cast unit, software, so forth and so forth. All right, so now you got your account, and now we're gonna go into settings. So we're gonna go into this, write review, send feedback, unit data usage, iOS settings. Yeah, that's not what I want. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna cast that out again. Let's see if we can pick up some fish. So hold on, stick with me. So the nice thing about this caster is the Garmin, that you could actually be far out there. Let's see if we can find something. Let's see if we can find some fish, and then we'll get into it. We're gonna find some fish. Okay, not connected. All right, here we go. So now still says 3 feet, 75. So up here you can see the contour at the bottom. It kind of goes through the contour at the bottom. You can see on here that you have probably something hydrilla. I can see some grass already in here. No thanks. All right, so we're gonna go through. You can get into here, so you can get a grain. So up on your top, you can get into the grain, and we'll go into that. So that's your kind of your settings. So you're gonna go grain if you want it really high, 100%. Range, again, we don't need more range than 89 feet. Frequency, excuse me, this is where you kind of go back. So again, I'm going back, going into here. That's too much grain. I don't like that much grain. I go about 40 to 50% is typically what I go and do. My range, again, you don't really need that, so it should cut off. Grain, you could go auto, it'll pick it up. So now I'm back into it, my normal view, my grain. So let's see if we can fish. We're gonna pick up some fish here. More settings. All right, your frequency is 260, 455. 455 is a smaller cone. You got a scroll speed, you got a view, to a traditional view. A scope is, again, for ice fishing. You want fish symbols is on. I'm gonna take fish symbols. I'm gonna take this. So this is what I like. You got fish on, fish only, fish with depth, fish with background and depth. I like to go fish with depth. For me, it's pretty simple, it's pretty easier, and we should be able to get some dings in here. Let's see. All right, let's go back. More settings. Down here, we're gonna go into the more settings. So again, that's fish symbols. The A scope, again, that's more for ice fishing. Restore sonar defaults. So that's where I'm going. Again, that 400 and 455, that's gonna be a smaller cone. I want a better, a longer, bigger cone. And then I'm gonna go traditional or flasher. If you go into that flasher, let's go into flasher. So what the flasher is, you go back and going into that. Again, that's not what I want, or that's not what anybody should be using, unless, again, ice fishing traditional. Then we're gonna go back. Okay, so let's cast out there and let's see what we could do. So again, it kind of gives you the depth, what's on the bottom. Now, as you could see, again, I'm at 3.5 feet, at 77.7 as my temperature, and I could tell you the bottom and what it looks like in the structures of the bottom. So let's see if we can see a fish and kind of get into, see if we can find some fish. Should be able to find some bluegill. So I do have this one thing. It's from, I'll show you, it's a Deeper Pro. So I did get this thing from Deeper Pro, and it goes around, and the only place I've ever seen it goes around your phone, and it connects to your rod, and I'll show you. And it has a couple, excuse me, has a couple rings, and that way, when you're casting and you're going through, you don't have to hold your phone. So we'll do that, and we'll see if we can. We'll definitely get some fish in here, and we'll find some fish. All right, do I got a fish on there? No. Okay, ready? Hold on one second. So these tabs. So what ends up happening is you could take it and wrap it around. You wrap around each one of the corners, and you wrap it around your phone. And when we put this on, I'm gonna take an O-ring. I'll show you once I get it on. All right. So I got this thing on. Now we're good. So anytime you get a disconnect, that's kind of how it works. It kind of wraps up around, and then you could have it and you could reel it in, and we're kind of seeing where it is. So I should be, all right, so now we got it back. All right, let's see if we can find some fish. And now all I'm doing is just casting it in. Now there's a fish. It's saying I got 4 foot depth. I got a small fish. It has the bigger, smaller, small, medium, and large fish symbols. If you could see, try to get it up so you can see that fish right there, and it says 3 feet. Right, so then you just keep on. All you're doing is just kind of reeling that in, and let's see if we can find a few more. Let's kind of move over and let's kind of go towards the middle, and we'll pick up some fish. We got it out there. Again, we'll see how where we're at with the depths. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get going. All right, so now, this is the problem with it, but there's 2 fish. There's one at 3 feet and one at 4 feet, and you can kind of pick it up. Those are smaller fish. See if we can pick up a bigger fish. Again, I'm into shallow 2.3 feet, but let's see if I can cast out there. Let's just go off to the side over here. We'll cast one more time, and we'll go. Let me try to get this wing way out there, and we'll call it. All right, you hear that? Plump, getting it done, yes sir. Oh. All right, so it's pretty far out there. It's pretty far out there. This comes back. So there's a software update that I haven't installed. So you do kind of get some of this going on. I mean, there's another fish, at 3 feet. Again, my connectivity here isn't the best. So my connectivity is, my cellular data isn't the best here. But there's one at 3 feet. Again, a smaller fish. Now again, do you know if it's a bass or a bluegill, or again, it's just picking up the air in a diaphragm. So it could be a catfish, a small little catfish. Usually if it's bluegill, it'll be schooled up and you get a bunch of bluegill. Just suspended off the bottom. So that's pretty much it. You know, if you like, again, if you want to get more into your settings, you always go into your settings. And again, the auto grain, if you want to get into, you don't have to, you could bring that down, and then you're going to pick it up a little bit better. Now, you have to mess, the one thing I'll tell you with the Garmin is you do have to mess around with that grain. So there's 2 settings I know, you really have to mess around with. Is the first one is that grain, and the range is now, but you know, the 260 KHS, stick with that. Like I said, the 455 is more narrower. So the grain is something that you really have to work on and mess around with. And that's kind of where you have to be careful. You know, that's where you have to kind of be careful with your grains, how much grain you want. Like I'm, 5%. You can start to pick up a little bit better what you're going to pick up and what you're not going to pick up. And you can kind of go pretty fast with these. You don't really have to slow it down. It could be pretty fast on how you're fishing it. Again, you don't need to be like super slow. You know, you're just kind of going through and trying to pick up some fish in some depths of the pond. You know, when you're doing this, I'm gonna probably go with a little bit higher grain on that. Give me a little bit higher grain. So when you're doing it, again, mess around with the grain. And you know, again, the key to it all is, for me, I do like a couple things. First off, I do like the Deeper Pro, this little gadget, like I said, that kind of comes around and keeps it on your fishing line, or fishing pole for you. Again, it's a nice thing to have, and I think it was, when I bought it, you know, again, just like some rubber just goes around your phone case. Pretty much fits any phone case. Then it has the rings, and the rings go up and against those, and kind of goes up, and that ring is in, and then it kind of comes back across, and you're good to go. So the only place I really ever found those was on Deeper Pro. Like I said, I think the price was, I don't know, I think it was like $12. So, you know, the other thing, just mess around with your grain on the Deeper Pro. And you know, the key to it all is, if you're in a place that doesn't have good connectivity, it's just not going to work. I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, I don't know if it's necessarily a Garmin issue or a Deeper Pro issue. If you don't have connectivity, it's not going to be able to connect to your Bluetooth, and it's really going to hamper what you're seeing on your screen. So again, just make sure that when you're fishing or where you're at, that you have good connectivity, and you should be good to go. All right, I hope this helps. I hope it helps, you know, how to fish or how to use a Garmin. Garmin's pretty simple. There's really not a whole lot of things that go into a Garmin. I mean, that's pretty much all the settings. Pretty simple, pretty easy, right? Pretty simple, pretty easy to go through. It does pick up fish. We picked up a couple fish. Looks like smaller fish, you know, 3-4 feet off the 3-4 feet, pretty close to the bottom. So I hope you liked the video. I hope it helps. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to drop a comment. Greatly appreciate it. Getting it done. We're getting it done. We'll get it done next time too. All right, I'll catch you later.